So we're back. We have finished our little caterpillar pendant, added a flower and the cute little spiny urchins that are coming out here. And we're going to make it into a brooch. We've cut away all of our beading foundation, and now I want to show you how to add the backing onto it. So your choice of backing, you can use a altar suede or a leather as well. It's up to you. And what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that this pin back fits in the area of where you want. This one's really cool because you can make a brooch out of this, or you can also make it into a necklace. And this is a perfect fit. So you want it a little bit taller so your chain or whatever you want to use for making a pendant will fit through here and isn't clear down here at the bottom. That would be kind of goofy, so do it like that. And so what I've done here is I've taken a little marker and I've just marked where the little edges of the pin are here. And then I'm just going to fold that over and just take a little nip so I can open it up and pass it through, and it gives it a really nice finished look. I'm really picky about finishing, so I like to do a nice edging, and I like it to look really finished well. So let's just make a little nip there and a little nip there. See the little nips I did right on the side. Now you can choose what side, if you want it to be the soft side or if you want it to be the suede side. I'm going to choose the suede side for this one. So then just open up your pin back, and then you're going to push it right through those little nips that you just took. And then it's hidden. And be careful you don't nip it too much. You want to have to where it's not really loose in there. Okay, and that's going to go onto here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use some E6000. This is a new E6000. It's non-odor. And I'm just going to put a very small amount here. Give it a little bit of squeeze. Come on out. Here it comes. Just like that. I'm going to put it a little bit heavier where I want the pin back, and then I'm just going to dab a little bit down here on the bottom so my backing sticks to it. I'm not a huge gluer. I don't cover everything. And when you're gluing, you need to be really careful that you don't get it along your edges, because it just makes it so much harder to do your edging stitch and bead through. So now I want to make sure that I have this correct. I do, with my little flower on the bottom. And I'm just going to massage this on here. So open your pin back, give it just a little massage here. Make sure you're nice and even. Okay, looks good. So I go ahead and just close this pin back. I don't need it to be stabbing me. And we're good. Now you can let that dry, or we can just get started. I think we'll be okay. All right, so now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to cut away your excess leather. Now this one, you don't want your scissors to go like this. You want to go straight up and down. You don't want it to be shorter because your edging, or excuse me, your leather would be shorter on the back of it. So just make sure when you're cutting this, it's just a little bit, what do I want to say? A little bit bigger. Can you kind of see that I can see my leather a little bit more so here? And then come over on this side and do the same thing. So remember, not at an angle, straight up and down. It's better to have a little bit too much leather than not enough. Okay. Now we've cut that away. We'll deal with this when we get up here a little bit closer. Okay, so I have a new needle threaded. I'm going to cut my tail away because I don't want that popping out. Okay, so this is called a Picot Edging. And what you're going to do is you're going to take and you're going to come through your stiff stuff and you're going to hide your knot between the leather and the stiff stuff. You see how that works? I'm going to pull it all the way through. Okay, my knot is hiding down in there. Now I'm going to add on 3 seed beads, 3 size 11s. Slide them all the way down to the end of your thread. And we're going to go through the leather and the stiff stuff 2 bead widths over. So if you look at this, you can see the 2 bead widths. And I want you to go through the leather and the stiff stuff. Now when I do my edging, I bead towards myself. Some people will go this way, but I prefer to have the flow of it beading towards myself. Plus I like to look at my work and what I've created as I'm doing my edging stitch. So then pull it all the way through. Now you've created 3 beads up on top there. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go through your last bead. So we've got 1, 2, 3 beads. You're going to go through your third bead and pull it tight. And see how that lays really nice up there on the top? And it kind of looks like a little triangle. So now you're going to go put 2 beads on, go through your leather and your stiff stuff. And then you're going to leave this little guy here is considered the picot, and you're just going to go through the last bead. This is why this is called a picot stitch. See how it just picots out there? It's like a little peekaboo. Then you're going to add 2 more beads on, and you're going to continue this all the way around. Now you can always go at an angle like this. If your leather's a little bit stronger, depending on what kind of backing you're using, go at an angle. It slides through a lot easier. If you're using alter suede, it's like butter. It just goes right through. See how that just picots up? It's pretty cool. Nice finishing technique. 2 beads on. So remember, we started with 3 beads. Now we're just putting on 2 beads. And the reason we started with 3 beads, if we only started with 2 beads, you'd actually see your thread. It would come up over this last bead over here. And I'm a stickler when it comes to threads. I don't like to see threads. 2 beads on, back up through the last one. And then if you want to have a little picot that's kind of hanging off to the side, just put your needle in there and pull it up. And again. So you're just doing the same rep all the way around. And this is the great edging too, because actually you're sealing up your backing and your stiff stuff, and it gives it a really nice finished look. See how pretty that is on the back? It's really finished nicely. I can sit for hours and do edging. One, 2. Leather stiff stuff. Up through the last one, leaving your picot behind. Okay, let me finish edging this and we'll come back. Well, okay, here we are. We're back. And I finished doing the edging, and I left a few empty spots here so I can show you the trick on how to finish off the picot. So as you can see, it's picoted all the way around. So I'm going to continue on with my pick up 2. Go through the leather and the stiff stuff. Pull it all the way through and pass back up through the second bead. Now this part is the finishing part. You just add 1 bead on because you've got to put a picot in between these 2 picots. Let's make this little picot stand up a little bit better. So then we just go run down through that bead, the very first bead that we put on, and now you've got a picot on that side. And like I said before, if you just use your needle, you can pull these little picot guys up. So now I'm just going to take my needle and thread, and I'm going to run through all of it, including the leather backing here, to tighten it. And now I'm going to go back through my leather again. And then one more time. And I'm not jumping. You can't even see my little stitches back here. So you can't even see where the stitches are. And then we're going to go kind of at an angle. I remember telling you not to go at angles, but this is just for a tie off here. So let's see. Get it to where you can see it. Okay. Now I've got my needle coming back through the front. So now what I'm going to do to get myself down here, we're going to do a few little fringes down here that incorporate in this area here. So now I'm on the front right here, and I'm going to run through these couch beads. This prevents you from having to tie off and tie on again. And I'm going to run through them again. Plus it even straightens these up even more so and puts more strength in them. A lot of times people don't like to tie on and tie off and tie on and tie off, so this works out great. So now I am to this point right here, and what I'm going to do is do a couple little fringes off here. So what I want to do is I want to come out the edge bead, not the picot bead. Remember, these are the picots that stick up. So I'm going to go down here and come through an edge bead. Let me get this pulled through and I'll flip it over so you can see. See how it's coming through an edge bead right here? Not the picot. So now I'm just going to lay it down here, and I'm going to add a few seed beads. I'm going to start out with 5 and see if I like the length of that. And I do. I'm going to add 2 more. Then I'm going to add a crystal, and then I'm going to add another little seed bead as my size 15 as a stopper. So I'm going to come and leave that behind, the little stopper bead, which is a size 15, and go back through, let's see if I can get this angle right here, go back through that little stopper bead, that little edge bead. And see, now there's a little fringe there. So now I'm going to move over, and I'm going to go through just a few of these seed beads right here in my little couch beads. There we go. And then I'm going to pass down through the next little edge bead. And see where I'm coming out is that edge bead right there. I want to make sure I don't get tangled up here in the front. So here's the edge bead where one fringe is coming out, and here's another one. So I'm going to make this one a little bit longer. So I did 7 that time, so I'm going to do 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm going to slide it all the way down to see if that's my liking for my fringe. Actually, I'm going to add 2 more. So it's really up to you how long you want to make your little fringes. Okay, now I'm going to add another crystal, stopper bead, and turn around and go back up through all those 11 beads, back through my picot bead. Now this is where my pin back is, so this is how it's going to hang. So in this design, I think I need another one here and another one here. So let's go ahead and do that. And you can add as many of these as you want. So let's get back out the edge bead. And I kind of lay it down to see which way I like it. 9 work for me. Double check it. Yep, I like that length. Another crystal and another stopper bead. Now a lot of people say you need to do uneven fringes and uneven numbers of everything. I don't believe that. I think whatever you like, if 4 looks good, do it. If 3 looks good, do it. I don't think it's totally necessary, and I don't follow the rules anyway, so as you can tell. Now we're going to move over a little bit more, and I'm going to put 1 more fringe on, and then we're going to show you how to tie off. Oh, I'm cut around that cup chain. There we go. Come on. Okay, and this one I am going to do, I think, 7. Actually, I'm going to do, yeah, I think 7 looks good. Crystal, stopper bead, back through the crystal, all the seed beads, back through my edge bead. Now here I'm grabbing some of the beading foundation right by the cup chain. So this is where we're going to tie off. So what you do is just find a little bit of the beading foundation under there. Like I said before, you can kind of bend this too, you know. This beading foundation is flexible. So if you bend it just a little bit, you can kind of see a little bit of the whiteness. And then you're just going to grab a little bit of that stiff stuff underneath there. And remember how we did the surgeon knot? Let me find my tail here. There we go. Whoops, I pulled it all the way through. Let's try it again. That just secures it even more, doesn't it? Go through it once. And one more time. Holding onto your needle, of course. Pull it tight, and then go ahead and pass through a little bit more of your beading foundation. Then we're done with that. So we're going to cut it. And now you are going to have a beautiful little brooch to wear. So here is our finished pendant. And when I was showing you the back earlier, it was my mistake. I forgot to show you that we needed to cut a little slit right here for the bail part of it. I had already glued it down and then realized that I hadn't done the bail part of it. So all I did was take a little snip, push the bail up through, and then finished my edging. So see, you can do things even when you make a mistake. It still works out. You can figure out a way. Okay, well, play around with it. Play with different colors. Play with different flowers, different beads, different things to add on top. You can add more fringe. The leather backing, you can use different colors with the altar suede as well. And I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you so much. I enjoyed spending the time with you. And if you need any more inspiration, just visit us at firemountaingems.com.